I'll do my own very small introduction. So I, just for those people who don't know, that I have been writing a weekly column about my life for 13 years, Financial Times, every Saturday. And I am a former investment banker who then joined and bought my own business. It's actually not a PR business, it's a headhunting business, but we only headhunt in the world of PR and communications. And as Karen said, I also run a charity which I personally fund, which trains black and minority ethnic people and helps them to get their first job in PR communications in the hope that in 15 years' time they will be on our shortlists. So that is, and I have to say, first of all, before anything else, a very big thank you, because tonight they have made a wonderful donation to my charity, and I'm absolutely honoured to be here, so thank you very much. So I thought I would use this opportunity to be in a very successful woman already. So I know you don't need any careers advice, any of you, but I wrote a book at the beginning of this year called Careers Advice for Ambitious Women. And I thought I would just share with you, so I've been a headhunter for 12 years, okay? I've worked in and around the capital markets for that, while I was an investment banker for 8 years, and before that I really did work in financial PR. So I've worked with a lot of successful corporate women in in every walk of life really, from entrepreneurs like Taylor Bennett through to very successful people who run PLCs, like Marcus Gardiner who runs PSL and CFT, to people that you would probably necessarily have never heard of, like the woman that runs the National Trust, or Joanna Walshurst, who is a hugely successful McKinsey partner. And these people amass, in many cases, quite a lot of money, but they also have amazing track records and careers. So I'm taking the basis of my own work. We review 3,000 CVs a year, we interview 1,000 people face to face, and we place about 95 into jobs. So there's a huge filtering process that goes on, and this has informed my book, that also all the women that I have been associated with over the years have also informed it. And there are 10 chapters in the book, and they cover 10 things. So what I'm going to try and do is spend less than 2 minutes on per thing now. And to give you an idea of the 10 things that I really just sometimes describe this as 10 things I wish I'd known when I was 17. Because if I'd known all these things at 17, I wouldn't be here now, I would be retired, in the Caribbean somewhere. Or in Australia, I have an Australian husband, and I was just saying to Diane before we started that, asked after my Australian husband. My Australian husband is in a meltdown today because on Monday night we're going to the Mansion House for the Lord Mayor's inauguration dinner. This particular Lord Mayor I knew when he was running SE Bank in Japan. I've known him for over a decade, and so this time we do have to go. And my husband, as I said, is Australian, finds the British quite peculiar the way we dress up all the time. And he's already had a meltdown the other day when he was invited to go to something where smoking jackets were the uniform. And Monday night is white tie. So he's almost not speaking to me. And he has described this as, oh my God, this is the Poms at play. You think all we do is dress up. There are 10 things in this book that I have really learnt lessons about. The first chapter really covers human capital, and this is the first lesson I've learned. Human capital is what you bring to your career by virtue of just you. So you walk through the door, it's what you bring. If you couldn't pick up the telephone or email anybody, if you couldn't communicate with the outside world, what would you still walk through the door with? Now, that means in many cases around here, it means your legal qualification, your accountancy qualification, your investment management qualifications. It means, what you have studied and built up. And, I encourage people to continue building human capital throughout their life, and I'm delighted to hear that you've gone to increase yours. But it's an academic term, human capital, and it's something that is a sort of first lesson. So when I was 17, for instance, I should have known more that A-levels matter, university choice matters. I spent an hour or so this morning with Sir Peter Lampe, who runs the Sutton Trust, which works with what he calls a great definition, non-privileged people. That means that 80% of students in this country who are not in either a private school or a faith school or a grammar school. And he absolutely says that he funds something called Pathway to Law, which works with 16 to 19-year-olds, and it helps to get them into the 10 universities that Clifford Chance will recruit from. And so that's what I mean by, I wish I'd known that at 17, I would have gone to one of those universities. I didn't particularly want to be a lawyer, but the truth is that when you're faced with thousands of applications, and the way that people select them is just by going through and taking out the people who've been at the brand names that they recognise and trust. Trust, Oliver Williamson, who won the Nobel Prize 2 years ago, wrote his whole thesis is that trust lowers transaction costs. So if you build trust with a brand, then it doesn't take you 5 seconds to choose who to interview. And it really matters. And the two things I would always say about that is that if you didn't do your undergraduate degree, for instance, at a great place, then go and do a postgraduate degree at a much better one. And I promise you, employers will only look at the place that you went to last. And the late great Elizabeth Taylor said that success is a great deodorant. It covers up the smell of past failure. And that's really why I encourage people to go out. Okay, if you didn't get a great first start, go and get a better second one. So there is a great tip that we can all learn as women for how to get taken seriously. A great tip which only actually costs £2.50. Okay, so I will just demonstrate this tip to you now. Okay, so every day I spend £2.50 to make myself look very serious. And by the way, this is how I walked into my meeting with Sir Peter Lample this morning. So I read this every day for a cover to cover on my iPad. All right, this is a pristine, unopened copy of the FT, and I spend £2.50 of it, and I put it in my handbag, and I make sure I go to a meeting with that sticking out of my handbag. Okay, and I do not get any bollocks questions from men. That is what I mean about thinking about how we come across. Really successful women build teams, by which I mean teams of people who help you achieve an objective and you don't control and don't pay. So this is what I mean back when I said, there's no such sentence as I can't do it, but I can't do it alone. So, the 30% Club is a very good example. That's a team I'm a member of. It's a team started by Helena Morrissey, who runs Newton. It's a group of women who got together to help change something. Helena doesn't pay us, she doesn't control us, we don't work for her, but we willingly came to her call and helped her set it up and helped her continue it, and we all got together and we are a team and we work as a team. And we all work in lots of different places, but we work as a team to achieve things. And it's that kind of team, it's that team that help you when your child is sick and can't go to nursery, the team you built, the team that you don't pay that helps you. All successful women have built those teams around them, whether it's to do with their home life or their third dimension activity or whatever. And really successful women know how to work and build those teams. So that's what I mean when I said, there's no such sentence as I can't do it. The sentence is I can't do it alone. I have had no achievement in my life that I have ever achieved alone.